Jean Giruad, or better known by his nom de plume, Moebius, was a critically acclaimed French illustrator and cartoonist primarily known for his independent comic works, such as Lieutenant Blueberry, and his collaborations with Alejandro Jodorowsky, The In-Call. He also worked for Marvel on a Silver Surfer comic written by Stan Lee called Silver Surfer Parable. But according to what few sources I could find about this comic, Moebius submitted a short Batman story in the mid-90s to DC Comics, and for whatever dumbass reason, they rejected him. One of the most critically acclaimed cartoonists of all time, and they said no. Well, then he worked the book into a parody comic, and it was published in Penthouse Comix, number 7. But before I get into that book, here are the plugs. Over on my Patreon, I've finished uploading all pages of the 40-page comic anthology, Destructo Boy and Other Exciting Tales. And I am almost nearing completion of the first issue of Destructo Boy, Era of Alpha Cardinal, Part 1. It's about 25 pages, and I will hopefully be getting it on sale sometime in the coming months. And back on Patreon, I'm still in the process of uploading the pages to A Dead Fish in the Grass, a 166-page horror graphic novel set in the Old West. If you're still interested in buying the original printing of the Destructo Boy and Other Exciting Tales book, there are still a few copies for sale at $19.99 plus shipping, so check out the link tree in the description. Not going to be reprinted, I don't plan on doing that. I'm going straight to the Destructo Boy sequel issues, of which there will be 6 eventually. I might do that as a monthly or bi-monthly thing, I'm not sure yet. Also on my Patreon, you can vote each month from one of 3 video topics. Released in 1995, written by Jean Giruad with art by Moebius, this is RATMAN, Batman Against Depressed Man, a parody. As it says on the bottom of each page, this is not Batman, because Batman is a registered copyright and trademark of DC Comics Inc., and this is not Batman. Ratman discovers the rat signal is on and enters a high-class apartment, maybe, where he finds a criminal with a domino mask, stealing some pearls. Beatman sits down at a table and tells the bandit to take a seat with him, but the masked menace rips open his shirt and says that he will defeat Bat-Tam. But first, he needs to put on his special battle outfit. Ritman tells him to hurry up, because he is very busy. The caped man sits at the table as Depressed Man goes through his trunks of items, and as he puts on a woman's dress, he tells Bootman he's almost ready. Bertman wonders what the hell he's doing. Is Depressed Man some kind of pervert, or is this another one of his tricks? Depressed Man ties a belt around his waist, and turns around with a wig on, and he's Bastard Man's mom! She chastises her son, and says that he'll be punished because he's nothing more than an animal, and Boy Man begs his mommy not to. But she orders him to take off his pants, and he's spanked over and over again. Once Buttman is in a deep depression, he cries to his mommy, asking why she's doing this to him. Then, his mom removes her wig to reveal Depressed Man, the greatest mass killer, king of all villains. Then his mom begins punishing him some more, and, in his mind or something, Bitman saves young Billy. As Depressed Man berates him and laughs, he's punched in the face. Later, Ratman meets the Commissioner of Police, who asks him how he caught Depressed Man. Ratman tells him it was quite simple. He spent a lot of time in Super Therapist's office. The end. Hope you enjoyed this very short episode of What Is. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Have you heard of Moebius before? Are you familiar with his work? What do you think of his very short Batman story that's in this issue of Penthouse Comix? It is just such a fever dream that it's just so weird and nonsensical, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of great. The art is fantastic, obviously. It's just such a weird story. Just imagine if DC had actually let Moebius do a Batman story for them. That would have been incredible. I mean, if it was what's in here, like, if this was it, and this is what it always was, then, like, I can see why they rejected it and didn't want to publish it. But if the story in this comic book is just a shortened, humorized version of his initial pitch, then I don't know, I reckon then it would have been incredible. It would have been like, the Scarecrow scenes in the Arkham Asylum game. You know, that weird getting into Batman's mind. You know, it would have been like it would have been maybe like Batman Ego before Batman Ego came out. And by Moebius. That would have been insane. That would have been so fucking cool. But unfortunately, we just got this little short comic in Penthouse Comix number 7. And like I said, I know this is a very short episode. I am working on something very special for the upcoming 100th episode of What Is. I've finally gotten there after about 4 years of work. I'm almost to episode 100. I think I'll have 1 or 2 more after this episode comes out. I think this is 89, or I'm sorry, 98. So I'll have 1 more episode before the big 100th spectacular. And it is going to be something very long, I assume. I imagine. I'm still writing it. And something very Batman related. So there's your big giveaway right there as to what I'm doing. See if you can guess it in the comments below. I don't think you will be. It's pretty out there as an idea. As always, follow me on Instagram at smokey'svideos and at notblakewild. Find my Patreon, where I am still trying to finish uploading all the pages to my 166-page graphic novel, A Dead Fish in the Grass. And stay tuned for my upcoming comic book series, mini-series. It's going to be 5 issues, Destructo Boy. This storyline right here takes up the first 2 issues, First 2 issues, Part 1 and Part 2 of The Era of Alpha Cardinal. The 3rd and 4th issues are Part 1 and Part 2 of another little storyline. And the 5th issue is going to be a bit longer, and it's going to be one big contained story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the front and back. This is a completed comic. This has all the pages in here. See that? All the pages are done. I hit my mic. Apologies for that. All the pages are done. I am working on issue 3 right now, getting those pages complete. Just waiting for the printer to send me the copies that I got from them. This is just a proof, a conceptual proof, to make sure everything looks right. But yeah, it is done. It is ready to go, and I will be uploading it on Etsy, I guess, for everybody to buy. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I will let you know more. Oh, and follow my new podcast, Comic Shtick, where comics are my shtick. Each week comes out on a Friday. I talk about comics, what I'm watching, movies, comic book related news. Currently I'm reading through Ann Nocenti's Daredevil run, so I'm talking about that about every week. Just recapping my updates on there. This past episode I talked about The Batman, Guardians of Justice, Netflix's new weird superhero parody show, and the new Marvel comic event, Devil's Reign. Find out what I thought about all 3 of those over on the Comic Shtick podcast. I hope you enjoyed this weird little Batman story, and stay tuned for what I have coming up. I'll see you next time. Bye.